Greetings, everyone. Hi, I'm so honored today to have a very special guest. In fact, she's a star, Geri Petito. Hi, Geri.
I know, LaJoy. How are you, sweetheart?
Fine. I love your background.
I love your background,
Oh.
okay?
Anyway, Geri is a popular radio talk show host on 5 networks. She's an author, a recovery coach, a nutritional health coach, a vegan chef, and she loves the color purple. Jerry, you're originally from Long Island, New York.
Long Island City, New York. There's a
I'm
little
Long,
different.
Long Island City, New York.
Yep.
You moved to New Jersey at the age of 13.
Yes. Like close to 13, yes.
Okay. Now, on July 27, 1991, your life was spiraling out of control. Would you be willing to share your story with us?
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to thank you. I'm honored to be here with you today. You know how I feel about you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Um, what I'll do is I'm going to start with the poem that says my story, and then I'll talk about it, okay? Okay. I thought I'd share my story in a more poetic way to give you guys some insight on what I want to say. I grew up in a crazy Italian home where boundaries did not exist. No such thing as personal space. As I grew up, I started to resist. My sign is a Pisces, and it really holds true. I'm artistic and curious with all that I do. My heart's on my sleeve is where it was worn. That good and that bad fish always made me feel torn. Everything possible there was to explore. My bucket list was huge. Every day I wanted more. I It got me into trouble from art school and into drugs, traveling all over the world, even tasting some bugs. Getting pregnant, then married, and of course came divorce. I lived myself unmanageable, challenged everything with force. Outside the box is where I belonged, but I always made right whatever I wronged. I fought structure and rules and never regretted. I only worried when needed, small stuff, never sweated. Being self-employed too young and making too much money, it got me into trouble. Now life was not so funny. Being so young and being so sick, I woke up and thought I need help quick. So I stopped all the crap and begged God to hear me. He saved me that day and he decided to spare me. He saved my life and gave me my calling. Now go help others, the ones that are falling. My entire life since I was young was finding the broken who I was among. 25 years later, God said, write your book. I smiled and thought, okay, now I know this is what it took. I'll never regret my choices because I'm the person I am today. I'll always pay it forward if I can help in any way. Health coaching's my passion on my radio show too. I love helping others. It's what I'm made to do. My life-changing choice that I had once made going on 34 years now, guys, my debt has been paid. So I'm going to share with you the night that I stopped everything.
Yes.
I do a show every year, the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, thanking God and Elvis for saving my life. And I mean it, and this is how it went down. In 1991, I had a 1990 Eldorado black and gold Cadillac with Elvis license plates.
Mm.
Okay, flashy car, right? Elvis license plates. And I owned beauty salons, and most of my clientele were very wealthy, business-oriented Jewish women. And one of my clients, who is still in my life today, was the municipal court judge of Mercer County. She was the boss of all the judges. I used to meet her at the courthouse in Mercer County in that car often with those Elvis license plates. Thank you, God. One night, probably 1 o'clock in the morning, me and a girlfriend are in that car in the middle of Trenton, New Jersey, a place you don't want to be in the middle of the night. You don't want to be there now, ever, anyway. It's that bad. So we were copying our heroin from our young drug dealer. He came out to the car and he said, I don't have any heroin. We have to go a couple blocks. So he gets in the back of my car, and we didn't know it, but an unmarked police car was following us that recognized my Elvis license plates from being at the courthouse so much and knew I was a friend of the judge. So he waited till he got back in the car with the drugs, pulled us over. He called her in the middle of the night, Nola Joy, and he said, what do I do? And he came and he He pulled us over. I rolled down my window and he said, Jerry, Judge so-and-so said, get this guy out of your car, get the drugs out of your car, go home, get some rest and get some help. That was it. I changed my life the next day. I put myself in a rehab that week.
So you were like a functioning addict, but no one really knew.
I was a functioning addict, but could not do the drugs. It was so crazy. It was getting out of control though, because I was doing things that today, to this day, I still can't believe that I did these things. And that was one of them. You know, Trenton, New Jersey, being in the middle of in the night. I mean, it got crazy.
Okay, now what inspired you to write your awesome book? And I love the title.
Uh, so one night I was sound asleep, and I kid you not, Nola Joy, I felt this on my shoulder, and I opened my eyes and I heard the words, write your book. So I giggled and I said, okay, Lord, you want me to write my book? And he said, write your book. Now, I've written poems back in the day, and it was different back then. You could mail a handwritten poem to publishing companies. I have books that they've published my poems, and that was how you did it. It wasn't the same anymore. So I said, all right, Lord, I'll write my book. So I didn't tell my brother, my daughter, my grandkids I was writing a book, and I stayed home, and God wrote my book. And I'm going to tell you why. It was written in 3 weeks. And not only was it written in 3 weeks, my mouth to God's ears, there's no way God did not have his hand in this book. And this is why. I didn't know why I had to write the book when I did, but it was to save two family members' lives. Within 2 months after my book was published, it was published right away. My friend came over. I called her up and I said, I hand wrote this book. I don't know what to do with it. So her uncle was a publisher back in the day. She came and spent the weekend. She got it in perfect format on the computer. And she said, Jerry, we're going to send it to a bunch of publishers, maybe 20. They might like it, they might not. I said, oh, no, no. I heard Simon and Schuster.
Mhm.
And she goes, okay, and laughed. And I said, no, 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 really. I said, and put your name and number with it in case they ask me technical questions. They're going to call me. 5 days later, okay, we're on a three-way with a woman at Simon and Schuster. We love your book and we're publishing it. And soon after that, Archway Publishing took them over, I believe. They're part of it, but I believe they took them over now because I revised my book in 2020, and it still was Simon and Schuster, but Archway was part of it, and now I'm not sure if they took it over. So anyway, the book got published, and I should say within 30 days, when my book got published, I got a call from a cousin and said, we need you tonight. Okay, her brother, my favorite cousin in the world, he's mentioned in my book. He lost his mind from crystal meth.
Oh,
Got him in a rehab instantly. He never let go of my book. And then a month later, a tragedy. Family member's wife died, but not from drugs because he was passed out for a whole weekend with alcohol. And his family was walking over him like they always did. And Italians keep things secret. So we didn't know the extent of it. And he worked for a liquor company. His wife, they thought had the flu. She died in the bathroom while he's passed out. And if he wasn't passed out, he could have called for help. So the daughter came home. She worked in salons, came home that night and found him still passed out, walked over him to check on her mom who was dead in the bathroom. Because of my book, she got in touch with me at the funeral and said, we need your help. You have to help my father. And he's been sober since. So it's helped a lot of people. And I gave my word to God that if you save me, I'm never going to stop. And here it was.
Jerry, what I'd like you to do is to hold up your book a little bit longer and read the title. The title is so catchy.
Okay. So I'm not an addict. I'm just an ass. I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumbass. And I say this because 34 years ago I was a dumbass. But today, 34 years later, through the grace of God, I'm a smart ass. And you want to hear something funny? I was judged by many Christians, and I'm a Christian, about this title,
Mhm.
and even pastors who now talk about me in their church. I say, guys, open the Bible. The word ass is in there at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. And they're like, oh, yeah, Jerry, you're right.
Now, who came up with the idea for the cover of the book, you or the
I
publisher?
did. Oh, no, no, no. I did. I even drew the little donkey. I wanted it to. Here's the thing. I didn't want this professional title and this professional, piece of artwork. I did it by hand because I wanted the addict to want this. I want to help the addict. So if you're an addict and you see this, you're going to laugh and say, hey, maybe that can help me. And that's why I came up with that.
May I make a recommendation? I would love to see your story produced in a movie.
Me too. So I'm working a little bit right now with my producer from Hamilton Radio. We're talking about doing something, but I don't really know how to begin it all that, but I want to do it as well.
Now, how did you become a radio talk show host?
The book. So my book came out in 2016. Doc G, Gene Perro, the owner, the original owner of Hamilton Radio, all right, reached out to me on Facebook and said, we want to interview you on his daughter's show, DJ Danny, for your book. I'm like, sure. So that was the first thing. So he says to me, you have a great radio voice. You need to come along. And I go, oh, no, no, no. I had a poker league. I'm an art. No, that's not my thing. He didn't leave me alone for months. He kept calling me. Finally, I started laughing, Nola Joy, because I prayed about it and I thought, I got in trouble every day of my life. I went to Catholic school when I was a kid in New York, and every report card, she won't shut up. She won't shut up. We can't make her stop talking. She won't stop talking. To this day, though, people tell me, shut up. Okay. So I can't stop talking. And I thought, God, is this my calling? And sure enough, here I am.
Now, you also do some television work or would like to do some television work?
Yes, I would. I've done some a little bit here or there with other TV media people. It's been a lot of fun, but yes, I would like to.
Because I know, okay, what I'd like to find out, what advice would you give our viewers today who may want to be a radio talk show host?
Okay, so just do it. Jump. Take the leap. Okay? Reach out to me, reach out to Nola Joy, right? I mean, think about that. Reach out to us. Okay? We can probably help you get started. I mean, if you have that passion, see, this is the thing. I tell everybody, there's something inside of everybody.
Mhm.
And if you have that passion, just do it.
And a lot of people have the passion, but they're so afraid of reaching out for help or even starting.
Yes.
How do you deal? I'm sorry. How do you personally deal with stress today or criticism, unkind words, if there are any?
Okay, so it's so funny because I tell everyone because I'm also I'm a recovery coach. I'm also a nutritional health coach, and I tell everyone that not everyone is going to like you. Elvis Presley, who I'm his girl, let me tell you, Elvis is my boy. He's even said, like he's had criticism, imagine. And I'm a Christian. So Jesus to me was the most perfect man that walked the earth, and he was crucified. And even people who aren't Christians, scientists have proved that that man was living and did get crucified. So think about that. So who are we? Not everybody's going to like us. So I laugh and I say, well, really, what you think of me is none of my business. And that's the truth.
I wanted to mention that in 2019, you were voted into the International Internet Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You have accomplished so much in your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, so what is your major goal now, say in the next 3 years that you want to?
Let's see, my major goal, honestly, I love what I'm doing. I was on probably 6 networks at one time. I'm now still on two. I had to like just break away from some of them. Um, and I'm breaking away from this other one that I'm on for personal reasons, with the time change and all that kind of stuff. That's about it. Um, but I'm going to be with Hamilton Radio, and I do so many shows. So my goal really for the next 3 years is just to help as many people as possible, and also music. I've interviewed so many legends, Mel Carter, I mean, Larry Chance, it's endless. Thank you, God. And, they need to be heard. They're up in age. Larry's gone now, and they need to be heard. And I'll never, never stop trying to keep that music alive.
So you give them a voice.
Oh my gosh, I sure do.
I know, I believe you've interviewed the Mystics before with George Gaffel in the
I was so honored. I was so honored. Yep. I did their last interview together before their friend passed, and that was incredible.
yes, how, I mean, God is right with you. I mean, the
Yes.
timing is perfect.
I know. I thank him every day, every day, every day.
Radio shows also broadcast on YouTube.
Yes. And Doc G puts them on like 7, 8 platforms. We were on iHeartRadio for years. I mean, it's been all over. Yes.
I want to give a shout out to John
And
Terlisi,
Lizzie, yes.
as he's the one that introduced us. And so we wanted to acknowledge him. And he doesn't he also co-host a radio show?
So, okay, yes. I call him my favorite stalker. Stalk me, and he brings me incredible guests, and I love him, and I got to meet him personally. We see each other probably once a month at this luncheon, the entertainment luncheon, and I got him a show with Hamilton Radio where I now co-host with him, just to keep it going, and he's doing a great job. We do it once a month.
Now, how did you become a vegan coach? A vegan chef, rather.
Okay. So back in the day, I had the beginning stages of colon and breast cancer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I was in my late 20s and then in my 30s with the breast and all that. So I changed my life and I became a vegan. I cured myself through fasting. I did a 60-day water fast.
So
I
did
got certified in fasting. Yep.
so you didn't do chemo?
No, nothing. I shook the doctor's hand, said thank you for the info, and left. And I found someone, George Malcolmus, I think he's recently passed, who had a fasting farm, saved his life as well. And that's how I learned. And I've been doing it ever since.
Oh my heaven. Well, you look good. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
so what's your motto that you live by every day?
Know your worth. KYW. Know your worth. Too many people don't know theirs, and they have to.
I want to know a little more about you. You are an artist too.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your work.
Okay, so I went to School of Visual Arts in 1979 in the Village in New York. And to get into school back then, it was a little different. You don't just pay, you had to make it. And the art teachers gave me 3 art classes my junior and senior year to make sure I got in. And most of my work is black and whites.
Hmm.
I do cartoons, charcoals. So I just love it.
Also, don't you also design websites?
Okay, no, no, no.
No.
No,
Oh,
no, no, that's funny.
oh, okay. I love that. I saw it on your
No,
web.
no, no. I had someone design my website for me. Okay. But I don't know how I tell like I'll tell them exactly what I want or help me with this or help me with that. I love color. I love cartoons. I love, but I don't design it. No. I'm not great with tech. My producers produce all my shows. I just show up.
Would you like to acknowledge your producer of your show?
Okay, so right now I have Gene Pero. We call him Doc G of Hamilton Radio. Ruben Rodriguez, okay? He's amazing. And now he also put my book to audio, guys. You can go on my website, www.geripetito.com, and it's with my voice. Simon and Schuster wanted to put my book to audio with someone else's voice, and I was like, no way. So I was his first challenge, and now he's doing a great job. So it's been amazing. And now Brother O, I'm gonna call him Brother O. He's our honeybee. He's from Beverly Nation, WBNN. And he's the one I'm gonna be leaving in June, and I'm really sad, but I have no choice. He's the one who got me acknowledged for Hall of Fame. He's the one who got me acknowledged for Lifetime Achiever. We're also all over the world. The last show I believe I broke a record with over 35 million listeners all over the world on Beverly Nation. And
Congratulations.
just thank you. It's just been a ride, and he is very responsible for a lot of it. So I thank him too.
I think God has really responsible.
Well, yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
God puts people in
right.
your life
Right
to,
place. Right.
yes,
Well, you have empowered so many listeners and viewers to hopefully, um, explore their destiny, perhaps unleash their hidden talents and strengths, and perhaps face life without fear.
that's right. Nola Joy, do I have time to read one more poem?
Yes, you do.
Because this is the poem that I usually read at most of my shows. Okay? Because it's called, where are we at here? Bear with me 1 minute. I didn't know if I was going to have time to read another one. I should have been more prepared with that. But bear with me 1 minute.
That's fine.
Okay. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents because there it is. Because what you just said, you know what I mean? So I try to let everybody know that you all have something to offer. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Imagine if we didn't have sanitation workers. To me, they're right up there. I mean, think about that, right? So we need everyone. So here, guys, if you're struggling with your self-worth and you feel like you have nothing to offer, please listen to every word of this poem, okay? Utilizing gifts and talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our jobs to share them to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Nola Joy, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn.
And that's what you do.
Oh, and that's what you do.
Thank you. For those that perhaps have climbed a very special, challenging mountain, would you like them to contact you to share their story with you sometime?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can actually contact me on Facebook, Geri Petito, GeriPetito. They can also email me at www.jdgeri@aol.com. I'm
Well,
always here to help.
thank you. And then also about the book. That's available through Amazon, correct? Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble, it's Simon and Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, everywhere. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, I want to thank you, Jerry, for being my special star interview today. You've
I
been,
want to thank you.
you have so much talent.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for this.
Thank you. I want to commend you on speaking your truth.
Thank you. Noel Joy, you're amazing. And I just want to thank you for honoring me here today.
Well, thank you. Anyway, till next time, this has been Nola Joy Carollo, for president of the Nola Joy Carollo Productions. Create heaven in your heart and starlight in your soul.